following is a production of Dirty Mo Media. All right, everyone, we're back again for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download here in the Arby's studio. Don't forget about Arby's new Meat in 3 box. Get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats. TJ Majors, my co-host, is here. Travis, part of the Denny Bros crew.
Gosh, dang.
All excited about this weekend's win. Denny Hamlin crossing the finish line first. Pretty incredible race, TJ.
Exciting race. Nashville always brings, it started off kind of slow, but it always kind of brings it at the end.
You probably missed part of it.
Definitely missed a little bit
got
of it.
on the plane a little early.
Definitely got out of there a little early.
Yeah, what time did you get home, TJ? Like 10?
No, it was till 1 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we got home 3:45 in the morning.
No, yeah, it was late.
It was late.
Way late.
All right. So the battle for the win, pretty incredible. 3 wide down the front straightaway into turn 1. For everything that we say is wrong with the next gen car, put on a hell of a race. So there was Larson spun on the inside.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I never could tell what happened right there.
All right. He had a left rear tire or a right rear tire cut.
Go down, yeah.
I forget what it was. There was some contact for him. Here we are. So he had some contact. If we could have rolled that back.
It's already done there,
he's
yeah.
got the right rear tire. Oh, I know what it was. Brake rotor parts from the exploded brake rotor. I guess it was the crash that happened before this.
Oh, the Ryan Priest.
That's right. Ryan Priest? No.
Buescher.
Yeah,
So Buescher blows the brake rotor into turn 3. Apparently the 5 must have ran over something. And when they get the restart, he's got the flat tire. Well,
there's a lot of smoke.
He spun it out full throttle. So he's got the issue right there. He knows it. He's like, oh, man, what are we going to do here?
She's hurting right here.
So he's coming down. He's slowed down, in complete control of the car. You know what's coming, TJ. A little more speed going into turn 3 on the apron. Full throttle.
Go back just a second. Oh, we went from, look at this. You see the RPMs?
What?
Watch the RPMs.
Okay.
Bottom left shot up.
Can't blame him trying to get himself a yellow there so he can get to pit road quickly, maybe only lose.
He would have stayed on the lead lap.
I don't know, man. Caution comes out. He's coming to pit road change.
No, not there. They're already by him right here. They would have stayed on
lapped
the
him.
lap. He got lapped easily.
They lapped him.
Yeah.
He spins out.
But worth a
never know what happens.
Worth a try. Yeah, worth a try.
Thank you, NASCAR.
I don't condone intentional spinning, but hey, I've tried it.
Good job, NASCAR, not throwing it right there, not reacting quick and being like, "Oh, car spinning."
Yeah. So, well, we had a hell of a battle for the win, and yeah, I mean, what are we missing? It was just an incredible race. You know what was interesting is, I went into when you're a broadcaster, you got to try to. Everybody does it different. This is what I do. I got notes for days and days and days, and I have a filing cabinet at my house, and every race, every folder is the racetrack, and so I get out that weekend's racetrack. I go through all of the notes, everything that I've written down that was an issue or an interesting thing that happened in every race is in those notes. It's just pages and pages of handwritten notes. And I kind of cherry pick out of that from the years before what I think is important. There's a bump in this corner. There's a bump here. The drivers didn't like this. Some guys spun out doing this, and some guys had brake problems at lap. Started hearing about brake problems at lap 60 last year, and that was one thing that I wrote down in my notes. I was like, had some guys talking about brake problems. And we're going with less drag and more horsepower, so you're probably a couple more mile an hour faster at the end of the straightaway, a little more brake pressure, a little more brake issue. So we get to the racetrack, and garage is going to open up at 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Go down in there, and I'm wandering around. I'm trying to find a crew chief to talk to. And I was looking at all the teams brake ducts. And, man, they're all so different. Typically, everybody's kind of close. Guy might have a little more opening, less, than the others, but not vast differences, right? And a lot of Fords were sealed solid. A lot of Chevrolets solid. Like 75% of the garage didn't have any opening. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. No brake cooling whatsoever. So there was a couple guys that had little slits, like a 1/4-inch opening. And then I saw the 45, the 23, the 19, maybe one or two other cars, wide open on top. And I'm like, oh, wonder what that's all about. Like, surely they're gonna tape up more after, during practice, or I don't know, So I started talking to some crew chiefs, and they're like, nah, man, this is how we're gonna run it. We got this rotor, we got this pad, we got this master cylinder, we're doing this, we're doing that, and wide open's the way we want to be. And there's other people like, yeah, we can't get them hot enough. The guys that are tape solid, they're like, we can't keep the temperature in the rotor. We don't want it to cool down. So the rotor is so efficient. Like everything on the next gen car is overdone. And the rotor blows so much air through it that it spikes up to 1,000, 1,200 degrees or whatever when used in the corner. Like if you mash the brake, go down the corner, mash the brake, the temperature goes fast from like 600 to 1,000 degrees, like quick. And then you let off and you go down the next straightaway, and it's so efficient in cooling. Air comes from the inside of the rotor, around the hub, around the spindle, and out toward the wheel, through the veins of the rotor. And that works so well, kind of like a turbine engine or whatever, right? And the thing cools down 400 to 600 degrees on the next straightaway. Mm-hmm. So that's a big rubber band in temperature. Up 400, down 400. Up 400, down 400.
Twice a lap.
Every lap. Twice a lap. So
not good.
Not good. That's why it cracks. It cracks right around where it's bolted to the hat, and it comes apart. And so the thing is like, man, we got to keep the temperature in it. We don't want it to cool down that much. So they put these pieces on the inside of the hub to restrict the air that can go through it. Same way you're seeing them tape up the grill. They're restricting the air. They do that as well with the rotor. Sorry. So it's technical, man, and it was fun to talk to these crew chiefs about what they thought was the best way to do it. We talk about the next-gen car being this kit car. You can't change shit, and that's true in a lot of ways. There's not a lot of things they can do at the track in terms of shocks and springs and fun shit they used to do years ago. But the rotor brake situation, there are many ways to do it. And for the most part, everybody that raced the other night didn't have a failure. There was a few cars that did. Two teammates at Trackhouse.
Yeah, there was.
You guys had a failure on RFK.
SVG, when he saw this, was freaking out, and they're like, don't worry, your setup is totally different.
Right, yeah.
Which I loved.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they had different.
I went to a couple teams, too, that said, yep, my teammate's not the same as me. And
what do you think that means?
Well, I went to one team, and one was tape solid, one was wide open, and one had different brake pads, different, the brake pads, some run hotter than others. You maybe want that. You may want less temperature in your pad. And so they were just, their tape was completely different. One Toyota was wide open and one Toyota was tape solid. And I'm like, man, why are y'all so different? You come out of the same shop. You have the same information, same data.
Just different ideas.
Yep. And so I thought that was interesting. I don't think we need to. I don't think we're putting the drivers in a dangerous situation. I think that it's there's a balance of.
I don't think it's putting them in a situation.
No. I know. People are gonna. Well, there are people on the internet that'll say, these crappy parts. You know,
this is all self-inflicted.
Well, I think that there needs to be some, this needs to be a test of man and machine, and the machine was tested.
Nashville brings it.
And so, I think I miss the days where, you get in a car and you're like, man, I hope the engine can make it. Let's not run a lot of laps on it in practice. Let's take, motors for the most part are bulletproof for the most part. Wire, and there's never, years and years ago, used to have coils go bad, ignition boxes, wiring gremlins, and motors breaking valve springs, and we got a bad batch of valve springs. We keep breaking valve springs.
We used to go out to make a run in practice, and Stevie'd be like, "Oh, we can only run 5 laps here. We're at our limit."
Yeah. It just, I miss that, because that was, you always kind of need that suspense or that fear is a nice ingredient to the whole thing.
Yeah, you're pushing things to the limit.
Yep, and that was what the brake issue brought, was this sense of, this ain't gonna be just a walk in the park. So
tires are similar. I mean, we have soft tires, and that people run them low air, and the tires are
exactly
similar.
Yes, TJ. Yes. So Goodyear is building great tires, and they're doing a good job trying to give us softer tires. I'm not sure we had the exact tire we needed this weekend. It didn't really rubber the track in as well as we'd liked, but still
lasted a long time.
It did last a long time, too long. They could have been a little more aggressive. They
right side tires should not hold on.
They didn't bring the Dover tire. They brought a Charlotte tire.
Yeah.
I guess there's a little difference there, but
yeah,
you could see it on the racetrack. It never really rubbered in.
Not big.
Like, oh wow, there's a ton of rubber on the track, like we saw in the O'Reilly race.
O'Reilly race rubbered up.
It did. So that's something they can gain on, but you're right. The teams can get aggressive on the air pressure and put themselves in a bad spot with tires and fail tires and so forth.
And it's not just it's the drivers, how drivers drive too. A lot of drivers use a lot more brake than others.
Yep. I love all of this because it gives me, that kind of stuff's going to be in my notes when we come back here next year. We're going to go, hey, we're going to still have this issue. You're going to walk around the garage. You're going to talk to guys. You're going to feel like, all right, we got it under control, or no, we're not sure. Or,
next year, I think will be a little. One thing I've liked about this year is with the added horsepower, teams are having to deal with sim, and they're kind of guessing, and then they're going to the track, and some teams are missing, and so.
Well, let me tell you, mark this down. St. Louis, we run the same package. St. Louis is harder on brakes than Nashville. St. Louis, you're going to have some guys that fail. All right, you're going to have some people that if they don't fail, it's because everybody got a bit of a reality check this weekend.
Yeah, I think everybody goes bigger. Like I feel like they go more short track stuff there. But
everybody had it there. Everybody had it in Nashville. Yeah,
it's going so much. To me, you're going so much faster at Nashville. But I mean, I like Nashville. It's a trying racetrack.
I'm going to tell you, well, the track at St. Louis is harder on brakes.
Is that a daytime race or nighttime race?
Daytime.
Oh yeah, it's 200 degrees.
It's harder on brake. There's more brake pressure. They're long straightaways, tight corners. And then you don't, the problem is like at that track, if the cooling down of the brakes is kind of your nemesis, because you want to keep the temperature in them. If the to a point, right? You don't want to, but you want to keep them glowing. You want to keep them warm. Glowing's probably the wrong thing to say there. You want to keep them hot. You would rather them not rubber band in temperature. And when you go to St. Louis, you got this really tiny 1 and 2. You use a ton of brake pressure getting into turn 1.
Really
and then
tight
you have
corner.
a big 3 and 4 where you don't use as much brake. So you really get that brake rotor hot, and then it cools all the way around the racetrack the rest of the way. You use a little bit of brake into turn 3, but that the temperature is going to come out of that rotor. That's going to be interesting to watch. We won't be broadcasting that one, but I'll be tuned in. They didn't have a lot of brake problems there last time. So, but again, less drag, more horsepower.
I think the bigger issue there might be low air.
We'll see.
But we'll see. Yeah. Who knows?
Have you been to an Arby's recently? Well, for the past few weeks, I've been talking nonstop about how their delicious, slow-smoked barbecue is back. Their barbecue sandwiches are better than ever. But if you haven't tried a barbecue mac bowl, you are missing out. You'll get the same tender deliciousness from the pulled pork that's smoked for 4 hours or the smoky, flavorful chopped brisket that's smoked for a solid 13 hours, all on top of a creamy, white cheddar mac and cheese. And this isn't your typical mac and cheese. This stuff is the best mac and cheese I've ever had. Add in the sweet and spicy barbecue sauces, and you have a one-of-a-kind barbecue mac bowl that's just the way you like it. Arby's is doing real, authentic barbecue that's so good, you won't believe that you got it at a drive-thru. Everybody knows that Arby's has the meat, so if you can count on anyone to do barbecue right, it has to be Arby's. It's selling out fast, so go to an Arby's and try a barbecue mac bowl before it runs out. Available for a limited time at participating locations while supplies last. Prices may vary. Get your barbecue sandwich at any Arby's near you today. Austin Dillon Brad Keselowski. So Brad and Austin had a couple of bang run-ins. Ends up getting Brad wrecked like hell here on the front straightaway. And you come over the radio, you said it was intentional. Brad watched the replay and at the outside the infield care center said, man, that looked intentional to me. You guys have had a chance to kind of look at the SMT data and go over everything. I've had a chance to talk to Austin. What's your opinion?
I'm still the same way. I
Really?
still feel like Austin was looking for him. I don't know if Austin meant to turn him like that, but I do think Austin was mad from earlier. He obviously was.
Why would he not be mad at the 17 trying to find him? 17's the one that spun him out.
I don't know why, but it's always they've had run-ins. Remember Loudon when he just got mad under caution,
You
started
remember
hanging
Michigan?
away?
When
Yeah,
Brad
but
wrecked him on the front straightaway?
But that's what I'm saying though. So and then Loudon happens, and
Well,
like,
maybe he's got over that. Maybe y'all are the ones hanging on to that.
maybe he didn't.
I don't know.
But what did you see from the actual?
You got some guilt in your heart from wrecking Austin, so you think next time he runs into you, he's mad, he's done it on purpose?
Well, when he does it, and he calls him out, and then calls me out too. I mean,
When
then
did he
he's
call y'all
obviously,
out?
huh?
He called you out after this?
Yeah, he said my name on his radio. I was listening.
During this race?
Yes.
What did he say?
It broke up a little bit, but I heard him say something to TJ. I mean, I don't know what he
He
said.
said, what the hell's TJ thinking there?
He might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just watching it, to me, like he's just tracking him, like out of the corner. He's just like, oh, I'm going where he goes, like he's looking for him. Like when you come out of the corner, and his guys down there, like, did Brad say anything, for about what? For about wrecking everybody right there. I'm like, what are you talking about? You got bumped by the 17, not us. And, he's not going for a hole right there.
Well, everybody's checking up. Brad checked up. Look, the force goes up track. Everybody's like, whoa.
I don't know. I know when
I hear you, man. I mean,
if he says on the radio, I'm done with this guy, what happens before that? If he says on the radio, how's that look?
well, everybody says that.
I'm just saying.
I get it. I know what you're saying, but he lifted before they hit.
So did Priest.
Priest lifted?
I mean, Priest lifted when they hit
No,
in Texas.
he lifted before he hit you. Why would you be wrecking a guy and lift?
Well, you don't want to knock your nose off. He said that earlier whenever he in the first wreck there. He said he lifted when Chris got him because he didn't want to hurt the nose. So
my opinion is that did he try to wreck you on purpose? I don't think he did. Did he give a that you got wrecked? No. But I don't think, considering everything that they've had to go through the last couple of weeks, that they want to be out there wrecking people.
I don't think he meant for that wreck to happen like that. I don't think he did. He didn't go into there saying, well, this is how I want it to happen. I want to get him. I want to end his night.
Yeah.
Do I think he wasn't going to cut any brakes right there? Absolutely.
That's different. That's different than being intentional wrecking.
Well, driving into somebody on purpose is intentional.
Well, I think everybody was checking up. I don't think he was trying to. I don't think he drove into you on purpose. I think the 10, the 10 make a little contact. That wasn't intentional.
If everybody's checking up, I usually go to the path that's more clear than to the one in front of you.
He sees the force slide up the track. He's getting down the track just like you are.
I mean, there's a gap on the
10.
He sees the 10 is coming down.
The 10 comes down, checks y'all up. Everything was kind of like all messed up.
Where should he be gone, TJ?
TJ said he should have went where the 6 wasn't.
I would have lifted. I mean, like, to me, he's just tracking Brad right there the entire time. Is he not?
All right, he is, but so the 2's tracking the 48. Other people are tracking other people. They aren't allowed to do that. Like,
when you come off the corner, the
watch
momentum.
it again. Look at the 2 and the 48, okay?
You've got your mind made up.
I'm not.
It's one way. Like,
look, 2's tracking the 48. Must be trying to wreck him. I don't know, man. I'm just saying that.
But he doesn't do it.
Well, the 48 didn't lift.
And, after it happens, there is no, oh, man, hey, I'm sorry I didn't mean to do that. Like, if you don't mean to do it, then.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's not sorry, considering the history. I didn't even think about all the history from Michigan and all that stuff, so I'm sure he's not like, oh, I'm so regretful. He's probably like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he said Eric Almirola into the Daytona 500 at one time, too. I mean, right? Yeah.
Eric threw a big block.
I mean,
It's Daytona 500. What are we talking about? This ain't the Daytona 500. This ain't the last lap turn 3 Daytona.
Does it matter what race it is?
Yes.
Oh,
the Daytona 500, TJ. You're telling me you're going to compare this to turn
I'm not,
3 last lap
Yeah, I'm
Daytona
not driving.
500?
I'm not going to drive you head under the wall at Daytona.
He didn't drive him head on the wall. He threw a block and he said, you're not blocking me. That's totally different.
I disagree with that, but.
Well, listen.
I don't think he meant for this big wreck to happen in the 2-car. I hate that the 2-car got tore up in it because Austin's been having a really good year and stuff. But I do think, like you said, there was like, if it happens, it happens.
I think that's kind of what it was.
So
if it happens, it happens. But
it's racing. We'll go on and race next week too.
Yeah, I did talk to Austin. Austin told me that I was dead on. But I mean, that's his.
I mean, he's not going to tell you that he did it on purpose.
Why wouldn't he? If me and him talking in a personal conversation, he would tell me he done it on purpose. He'd say, "Yeah, that guy."
Yeah, because Dale's is not then going to take that to the then.
Yeah, we're buddies. I mean, he didn't call me on a conference call. Wasn't a Zoom. We was just texting.
I think it was Austin was fired up at the time when everything. I think he was pissed off in the race, and it lined up right for it to happen like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I get along with Austin great. Like, I get along with Austin fine. I got a lot of respect for Austin too. Yeah. I mean, if I see Austin have good runs, him and I love Boswell over there too. I think Boswell's doing a great job. I think Boswell did a really good job after the stuff managing, setting themselves up for later, because immediately when they got lapped, he was like setting up for fuel runs at the end of the race, like trying to stretch it, things like that. So,
well, moving on, the point situation, Denny Hamlin chops into the big lead that Tyler Reddick had, and now it's 97 points. Denny's got 2 wins, 4 stage wins. Reddick has not gotten a stage win, but he has those 5 wins from earlier in the season. And I'm telling you, man, I started to see I don't know how people feel about this, so maybe I'm going into some uncharted waters here. But Tyler Reddick wins the 5 races. Incredible. No doubt. Fantastic. We had him on the show. Awesome.
Forever. It seemed like he was on. He was a part
co-host.
Of it. Yeah.
Good, cool deal, right? Awesome. But when you look at, you got Daytona. That was like a last lap, sort of being in the right place, getting the right run. Atlanta. They worked all day to put themselves in position, but again, Atlanta and Daytona kind of similar. Good job, but I don't think you leave Daytona and Atlanta with wins going, man, we're good. I'm looking forward to the 1.5 miles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. You don't.
Right. Well, they did get some other wins, but they weren't. Were they really like dominating races? Were they Denny Hamlin style, speed? And so what I'm asking or what I'm saying is like, all right, we go to this racetrack this weekend. Last weekend it's 600 as well. Two pretty good examples of what kind of racetracks we're going to run at predominantly throughout the season. And all of the JGR cars were a little bit better than 2311. A little bit.
A tiny bit, yeah.
Right? Just a
you
tiny
can
bit.
See it.
You know what I mean? And
didn't have that edge.
That's right. Over a 10-race stretch at the end of the season, I got to give the advantage to JGR over 23-11. And I've got to say, instead of just can Reddick beat Denny, my question is, can Reddick compete with Briscoe, with Bell? When Bell gets his together, he's going to be all right. He's going to be tough. So while Reddick's sitting out here with his giant lead, I'm not sure that they're the best team in the garage. You look at this sheet of paper with the points and go, oh, this team's dominating the series.
But you look at laps led.
Yeah.
Well, if we start looking at these sheets, that number's getting smaller. A little bit. If you were looking at a graph right now.
Yeah.
But do you think I don't think, and Denny's basically said that he doesn't think he can get him.
I don't know if he'll get him. I'm not really worried about that. I'm just trying to handicap the field. So I would say right now Denny Hamlin's the clear favorite to win the championship.
If he keeps jumping the start, he's not going to get him.
He just done it first time in his life.
Can't make races harder on yourself.
He did it first time in his life. He got excited. And hey, there is a rule that's written in ink in the rule book that says the starts, all of them, have to be in the zone.
Yeah, it's not the green flag, people.
It's not.
Don't.
No, this is the same thing that happened at the All-Star race. We're on the front row of Denny, and I told Brad, I said, Brad, if he does not go by the end of the restart zone, hammer down. We are legal to go. What's Denny do? He waits till the end of the zone, and we go, and we beat him on the start.
Yeah.
So it's in the rule book. If you read it, you'll see it.
Flagman throws it on the leader, with the pole sitter.
All starts have to happen in that box. Denny went before the line.
Then he went like
Yeah.
World of Outlaws style.
I know.
sprint car
Some
race.
people feel like that it's the starter waves the green flag is
No,
the,
it's
that's, that's the rule. Yeah,
no, it's not. He throws it when the leader takes off.
And plus, sometimes you have some Yahoo CEO up there waving the thing,
It might drop it.
or some retired race car driver.
Yeah, you've done it.
Yeah. So I would say that Denny's the clear favorite to win the championship. Behind him, do we have another JGR guy? Do we have an HMS guy? I mean, who is the next? I don't think it's Tyler Reddick.
It's Bell to me.
You think it's Christopher Bell?
I think it's Christopher Bell.
I think that's fair. What do you think there?
It's probably. I still think I would take Reddick over Bell.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. Bell.
I'm looking at the standings like Bell's only 10 back of Larson. Like he can I think
My question is like, I know that the Toyotas have been great, but looking like, Larson found a little speed. He's gotten a little bit better. They didn't put together the best sort of race the other night. They had it in control at one point, but they lost a little track position and some stuff. You gotta be able to, maximize track position, and they just weren't where they probably wanted to be late in the race.
Like the 20 makes moves. Like he passes a lot more car. Tyler just maintains.
Yeah, I thought 20 was going to win the race. I thought he was the best car the other night.
Oh, he was better. Yeah, better than Denny.
So I like Christopher Bell. That's a good one to say who's second, who's the guy that's probably behind Denny.
Behind thirds,
Right. I mean, I think you could make an argument that Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson.
Yep. I would say the 12. I mean, not lately. Though.
I'm going to predict, as we've said, that the champion's coming out of the top 6. And I would say that, Christopher Bell may leapfrog into the top 6. I don't know. Well, let's say it's the top 7. I think that I would handicap it like this. I would say Denny.
The 20.
Christopher Bell's too far back for me. Like if he was 3rd, 4th, I would say him. But I mean, if we said, hey, you're gonna start like this. Tyler Reddick's gonna be first, Denny, Ryan, Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. I would say that
I think Bell will get a couple wins though before, like in the next month or so. I think he'll have a couple wins.
All right, I know. I don't think you're wrong, but I'm saying if we're starting like we are right here. Anyhow, I like Denny, and then it's Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott for me. Blaney, Seabell, Reddick. Like I would put Reddick 4th, 5th, or 6th.
What makes me nervous about like Larson is he can hit it and go on a run, but also you know that he's some DNFs and some things like he's sometimes home run or bust, and it's
I don't disagree with that. But what is what is giving you all this confidence in Reddick? They didn't win a race last year.
Well,
he just has speed.
Year.
He just has speed. His cars are fast.
They found something.
Yeah, they did.
Their cars are fast. What scares me about Chase is I looked in the beginning of that race, and Chase is legit running like 23rd or 24th and not moving. Like he's in maybe not even that high. And then the thing flips. He's really good. Chase is really good at putting together a race. But to me, sometimes they lack that speed to get, you know what I mean, to be up front.
I agree.
And sometimes you get caught up.
The Chevys don't have it right now.
Yeah, and it's harder to get there. He can do it, but you can get caught up in some shit too.
The Chevys don't have it, and the Fords don't have it, but they're starting to show some of it. You're starting to see just a little bit of it. Don't be surprised, man. I'm telling you, in 3 or 4 races, don't be surprised if the Toyotas aren't leading as many laps anymore. I think Denny Hamlin is Denny Hamlin. He's going to do exactly what he's doing right now all year long. No question. But I'm just curious as to what people's opinions are. I'm Reddick could snap back, but I just don't see I don't see the speed, and they're not maximizing races like they were at the start of the year. They did incredible things with strategy, restarts, Reddick just being Reddick.
He was just working.
Yep, working, and just getting everything right. And that's what apparently they need for these race wins to happen.
I mean, how the last couple
weeks. And I just
weeks,
feel like some other guys have a little more pace.
SVG's been
SVG's
like
awesome.
a 5th place average guy here the last few weeks.
All right, so that's another thing, too, I wanted to look at. Big losers in the points. Brad Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, and both dropping 2 spots. Brad to 13th, Bubba to 15th.
Preece, 4 spot. Or was that 1? No, that's 1, yeah.
A.J. Allmendinger
He dropped 3.
A.J. Allmendinger had a bit of a chance to try to race for that 16th spot.
AJ did a good job.
But they lost 3 spots in the points to 22nd.
Yeah.
Ross Chastain lost 3 as well, down to 26th. A big drop for those guys, and he's extremely frustrated. Bubba Wallace's interview, boy, is he frustrated. He is down in the dumps about how his season's going.
Do you think the averages that they're posting right now of like the last 3 race finishes are really because you leave the Glen's an anomaly? It's a road course, so of course you're gonna have a couple different guys at the front in that. Then you go to Charlotte, or where was it? Charlotte, Watkins Glen. What else was in there? The All Star race, which doesn't count. So, and then we ran out qualifying. So the finishes are just carrying over for 2 weeks in a row. You know what I mean? Once you have track position in these cars, a lot of times it's easier to keep that. So to me, in the last 2-3 races, you've seen the same guys in the top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like qualifying being rained out really doesn't get a chance to mix it up.
The metric.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Ross would have probably been higher on the
100%. Like a lot of guys. You look at the starting grid for Nashville, it was like weird looking.
It was.
So.
Mother Nature. She's undefeated.
Undefeated. Ever since you came back, you brought it with you.
Yep.
I asked you about if you got content to fill, and now you need it.
Shane Van Gisbergen up 2 spots to 12th. Incredible. He's doing it on the ovals.
Racing the heck out of the guys, too.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, he's doing good.
And I think they enjoy it, honestly. I mean, they race the out of him back.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. The 2026 season is in full swing, and we've already had some really incredible moments. That's why we love this sport. And when it comes to capturing those historical NASCAR moments, nobody does it better than Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. Their race win diecasts are some of my absolute favorites in my collection. The scuffs, scrapes, confetti, the damage, every detail that tells the story of that win, it's in these diecasts. These things look like they were pulled straight out of Victory Lane. And right now, Lionel Racing is offering free domestic shipping just for Dale Jr. Download listeners. You can use this promo code, Download26, at checkout. Head over to LionelRacing.com to lock in your favorite NASCAR moments into your collection today. Xfinity, they're waving the red flag on internet price hikes and raising the green flag on savings. And you get the speed, reliable Wi-Fi that you need locked in. The same price for 5 whole years. That's a long time. No surprises, no late yellows, right to victory lane. Xfinity, imagine that. Let's get to the questions.
First question comes from Twitter. Guy want to know, what prompted you to ask Denny Hamlin about starting from the back?
Well, so when we sit down in the morning and we have our meeting for the production, they say, all right, we're going to have a driver talk to. That's what they call it. Right after or during the grid, the starting grid. I like to do the whole starting grid. That's very nostalgic for me. So I like Adam or a mixture of all of us to read the starting grid, but which we did the first race. This race, we put the starting grid on the screen, and then we're going to do driver talk too because there's a lot going on, a lot to get done during the pace laps in the broadcast booth.
And it was kind of rushed too, wasn't it? With the weather, the weather was kind of messing that up. You got to get down
to the pits. You got to do all kinds of stuff before we take the green flag. So I was thinking, you're always tasked to come up with something good. And hey, how's the car? Is fine, but
that's the not normal question.
The guy's sitting in that car, and he's like, I really don't want to do this. I'm trying to, trying to get everything right in here. I'm talking to my crew chief. We're going to come down pit road, check speeds. I'm trying to get my head wrapped around like firing off into turn 1 and leading this race and keeping it, keeping control of it. That's like, you're not. So I recognize that the driver's doing us a favor. And I was like, Denny might appreciate this because he's a gambler. And so I thought, wonder what he would. I really wanted to know the answer to that question. I was like, I wonder what he would take to give up, this first place on the grid and start shotgun. And you risk you take a risk of them like scoffing at your question, which sucks. Because
you don't want to laugh at it.
Well, most of these guys know you're trying to do a job.
Yeah.
And to like play, kind of play along. And I think Denny's one of those guys. So I was thankful that he paused for a second, and I'm like,
he's like, should I grill him or should I play along?
He's gonna on this, but he answered it and come up with a good answer, double the purse. And you know what's funny is some people on social media thought that I'm the one that's responsible for paying that. Yeah. Like at the end of the race, people were like, all right, pay up. Like I didn't make a bet with the guy. I just asked him what it would take. Like at the dirt races, they do this all the time. They do it at Millbridge. They're like, hey, man.
Sounds like a verbal contract to me.
You're fast. If you want to start in the back, we'll pay you this much more
incentive
if you win the race. And I'm like, man, what that would be kind of cool. Because, listen, Denny, if he's the best car and he's starting on the pole, and we throw the green flag, and he drives away and leads every lap, I'm trying to avoid that, right, as a promoter, broadcaster, as a fan. And so I'm like, man, I want to put the best car at the back of the field, make him have to drive through it. And I don't think that's ever going to happen in NASCAR at the cup level.
No way.
No.
But maybe they need to do that at the All-Star race, right? Denny talks about how that $1 million isn't enough anymore because it's been the same forever. He thinks that we ought to be paying more money for the All-Star win. Maybe you could do that by saying, all right, man, you want $2 million? Go to the rear of the field.
Way to get him amped up on the restart.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? I made him jump the start?
He blamed himself in our bet that we had as the reason.
Yeah. So, anyhow, I wasn't suggesting that I was making a bet with him. It was just more like, hey, man, what would it take?
Yeah. Next question. People want to know, what did you think of Cleetus's performance?
Well, it was a lot of mistakes. Listen, everybody in racing that gets into it is going to bust their ass underneath somebody.
That place especially. And so, he's getting pushed to try to get the lucky dog there when he spun out coming to the stage in.
Jesse was trying his ass off to help him, waiting on him to kind of, either stay on the lead lap or pass this guy or whatever, which was kind of funny. But he's out there running laps. He's not, I don't think that he made or ruined anybody else's race.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So
he almost got caught up in some other people's messes at times, which you know what I mean. So
yeah, I thought he did fine. My whole feeling about his deal is if he could get himself 2 full seasons or a couple years in ARCA, running all the ARCA races, all of them, short tracks everywhere. If he could go do that, man, I think he would be way better off to try to tackle this O'Reilly stuff.
He probably wouldn't have the solo spins.
Right. Yeah. So, while I don't mind him running the one-off O'Reilly race every now and then, I just think he's going to be frustrated because the results won't, the race started, he passed a couple cars, but it's like Joey Gase and those guys, and he's like in a way better car than they are, and he called a few people, and that's that's great. He was excited about that, but that's eventually he's going to go, all right, man, I know I need to take this car and I need to be running up here. And when he starts to have that happen, he's going to get frustrated. He's going to
try harder.
He's going to make more mistakes. He's going to get miserable. I just feel like if he's in it to have fun, run good, and still learn at the same rate, you could go do that in the ARCA series and then run some. He's got a Pro Late model that he built.
Yeah.
Go run that. I mean, he's got a racetrack. I would be at that racetrack running laps.
I know. He's got all the tools to work on it.
Like right now, on a Tuesday, he could be just running sets of tires at his track in his pro, just spending hours running.
Do you think he if you're him, do you hire, I don't know what it is, budget for all that, do you hire like a crew chief or someone to come in and coach you in these situations? I mean, I feel like he needs somebody to go down there and help the adjustments, you know what I mean, and work with him, go look at data after the runs and things like that. Do you? I
his pro?
Yeah,
yes,
anything that he runs, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when he runs the RCR stuff, they're
they got tons, yes,
filling him up with information. He's doing great, and RCR is a great place for him.
Absolutely.
And I think in the ARCA series, he probably doesn't get as much information and as much schooling and tutoring as he probably needs. But I mean, I think that's probably going to get fixed. But I think he should drive the pro race. I think he should test the pro a lot before he goes and races it, because he's going to make these same mistakes at the pro level, and that will that'll be worse because there'll be crashes then.
I feel like O'Reilly
instead of simple spins,
it'll be crashes.
It'll be crashes.
The O'Reilly car in Nashville, man, that's tough.
It is tough.
Like that's a slick place, like really hard.
Yep. He's picked a few challenging tracks.
I know some of the
between Rockingham and Nashville.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Next question.
Next question. We were talking about him right before Ask Junior here. Do you think SVG is now a lock to make the playoffs?
No, not a lock, but he's going to. I don't. I mean, there's. Let's see. He's sitting there. No, he's not a lot. I mean,
two road courses coming up.
He's got about almost 30-some points between him. He's got almost a race between him and Ryan Preece in 17th. Man, I don't know. It's tight. He could have a couple of bad days and be in a bad spot. But he's also got the road courses. If he gets another win or two at a road course, that's gonna put him about 50 points up.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And so, if not more, so I think if he gets another win at a road course, yes, that's what's probably gonna lock him in.
It seems like every week,
and he should smoke their ass at San Diego.
San Diego,
it's over.
He should.
I bet it. Like I feel like we talk about people that win on here, and then like 2 weeks later, we're like, where'd they go? You know, it doesn't seem like. I mean,
agree.
And he's on a hot streak right now, but like saying that he's a lock would be a stretch.
Yeah, I agree.
Next question.
I think he makes it though.
Yeah, I do too.
Next question comes from Glenn in the chat. He said that he saw you tweet that the race felt like 80s Bristol. He said, what specific moment during the race made you feel like it was a old school race?
We used to sit on top of we used to sit on top of a 15-passenger van in the turns at Bristol, and I'm from me to you from the apron, and there'd be a little guardrail, and you literally could see the eyes of the drivers. You could see their hands in there moving and carrying on as they go into the corner, and the car would hit the banking, and you could just see right through the window, right through the passenger window, or the driver window. And so it was just amazing, man. We were right on top of it, and you could see the cracks in the nose and the dents in the fender, and you could see all of the damage just up close. And they would come into the corner and wipe out, and you'd see guys blowing up smoke. You'd see guys having problems. It seemed like back then the cars were so brittle, the engines and parts and pieces, and the drivers were so mistake prone. They ran over each other and into each other, and they'd get so mad and angry. All the battling back in the pack was just intense.
Attrition was high.
And
right.
So, you're sitting there watching that race at Bristol back then, there was never a long green flag run with nothing going on. Never. Every lap, there was something to see or something going on. And the cameras rarely caught it. You know, the cameras are mainly on the guys up front back then, even in those races. And it was just entertainment as a kid. You were always, there was always somebody arguing with somebody else in the back of the pack, and they would beat on each other for 3 or 4 laps.
Not agreeing.
Yep. And that was as close, I guess, as we've gotten back to that. The other night, you had the brake issues. That really, that was the attrition and the imperfection of the car and all of that. So you had some guys making mistakes, running over each other in the corner and wrecking each other, and we don't see that often. We don't. And our Cup guys rarely make mistakes. They rarely spin out by themselves. They rarely run over each other.
Do you feel like the cars then were much more of a handful to drive? Like, not saying a Cup car is easy to drive down, because it's definitely a difficult.
I think it was about the same, because back then the tires were way different, and it was a bias-ply tire, and you could really yaw it out and run sideways. Yeah, they're probably harder to drive in some sense today.
I think it's harder. I think the hard part nowadays is just the gap from the guys up there are so good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. To me, like, the guys, they're all really good. They can put them cars within 6 inches every corner where they were.
Yeah, I think the difference is today's cars are harder to drive. You got to drive them on the edge, and there's a small window when you bust your ass. The little short profile tire we have on here. You're either, you rarely save it when it steps out. Back in the day, you had the bias-ply tire, and you could damn near drive the like a dirt car. If you wanted to beat the out of the tire and blister it, you could. But you could drive, you could have guys just sideways as hell all the time. Big window of getting out of shape and saving it. But in the 80s, your car drove worse. Like your car drove worse, if that makes sense. Like, your car didn't do anything good. It didn't turn good. The back wasn't hooked up. So
a lot of horsepower too.
Yeah.
Could spin the tires.
More power. Well, back in the 80s, honestly, TJ, the power is about the same.
Could you wear them out and spin them easier though?
I'm just saying,
would you have seen 3 drivers stay out on tires on that restart and wrap it like Denny did old school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, tires were pretty hard back then, pretty conservative. And when they started doing the tire, it's a long story. We're kind of getting in the weeds here, but today's cars are harder to drive. The 80s cars drove worse.
Makes sense.
Definitely drove worse.
That's 2 different things. So, yeah. But it was just entertaining. There was, so here's the moment where where I thought we were maybe in trouble. Toward the end of stage 2 or the beginning of stage 3, I'm looking out at the racetrack at the whole picture, and there's not one car running off the bottom of the track. And I'm like, man, it's 2/3 of the way through this race, and we're all pinned on the bottom. That is a bad sign. So usually, you want people by that point in the race moving up the racetrack. Everybody's chasing grip and turn. They're way up the track, and you got guys all over the place. And we weren't doing that. And that's a sign that, man, we might get a long, boring, can't pass green flag run because nobody can move up and make speed. So everybody's running the bottom, and nobody can catch anybody because they're all running in the same line. But, we kept having the brake failures. Things like that were breaking up the race, creating cautions. And every time you have a caution at Nashville, you're 30% likely to have another yellow in the next 5 laps. Well, so we'd have caution after caution there. We'd have things that would kind of keep the race from becoming a bit of a snooze fest. And so that's kind of what Bristol was like. There was never a boring segment or a long run where nothing was going on. It's always entertaining.
Awesome.
Yeah. That race kind of had, at the end of the race, people, that race, if you get a caution near the end, it's going to be one after another there. Yeah. I mean, it's just going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's hard to hold the bottom. I did like at the end of the O'Reilly race how high the groove was getting.
Well, they had a different tire.
I know, but I'm like, they were getting almost to the wall.
I just need to say that. I need to say that to the world.
Oh, yeah.
The world needs to hear that. Their tire was better.
Did you hear it, world?
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Xfinity's waving the red flag on internet price hikes and waving the green flag. Can y'all guess on what they're waving the green flag on? Savings. Now you get the speed and the reliable Wi-Fi that you need locked in at one price for 5 years. No surprises and no late yellows. Straight to victory lane. Xfinity. Imagine that. Dirty Mo Media has a new show coming out, This Cowboy Life. It's featuring Tiffany and Jerome Davis. They are the PBR's royal couple, and you won't want to miss it. Here's the trailer.
Bring the energy. Wake up.
I can tell that through all these stories, through all your world championship, I know that in your head you've always said, I'm going to be a podcaster one day.
I hope that at the end of the day that it'll bring somebody that hasn't really been around this life that we live, and it brings them to a whole new world. And somebody will say, dang, maybe them Cowboys ain't so bad after all.
I think if you can bring some smiles. I love to hear Jerome's stories and just how he carries himself. So I'm all about if people can get a grin out of it, if they can smile a little bit.
What's it going to be like, Jerome, to have Tiffany as a co-host to a podcast?
Whoa, man.
See this gift of gab I have? Maybe it'll come in a little handy on this deal.
If I can keep Tiffany quiet every now and then so she'll let me talk, we'll be in good shape.
The only bad thing is I'm going to have to hear your stories that I've heard 100 million times. I'm going to have to hear them another time.
And they just get better every time.
Yeah, they do get a little more added into them every time.
I don't know why she puts up with me and why she helps living this life that we go through, but she does, and she's awesome.
March 14th, 1998. From when they open the gate to when you get hit, what do you remember from that?
The bull I had that night was Knockabout John, and I'd been on him before, and he had hit me in the face in Vegas one time. So I knew that I had to really stay over the front end and try not to let him hit me in the face. As it worked that night, he got me rocked back and hit me in the face and knocked me out. And when he did, I dove in the ground and broke my neck. Went from being at the top of my game to the worst part of my life, all happened within a gate opening at a bull riding.
I was mad at God because I was like, why did you do this to Jerome? He's a good guy. You needed him on your team out here.
We were supposed to be getting married in May. Right after I got hurt, I was at the hospital, and I told Tiff, I said, I don't think this is going to work. We need to regroup. This is not the trail you need to be going down. And if she would have left that day, I wouldn't have blamed her. You know what I mean? And I never would have said a bad word about her.
I never gave thought about leaving. that wasn't an option because I still had drum.
I couldn't talk her into it, so I was kind of glad she hung around, I'll be honest. I lived through it, and it just made me tougher, and I was able to make a pretty good living at the sport. It's been good to me. When I look around and see, everything that's here today, it all comes from the love of the sport. I mean, everything I wanted to do had to do with being a cowboy.
What is going on with the birds over there?
You just messed this whole shot.
I'm going to redo it, but the birds messed the whole shot up, not me. I thought we was getting ready to get attacked.
You're like that dog that...
I thought the birds was coming after us. There was so many of them.
Just stay focused. It's going to really bring a new light to what this cowboy life's really about.
All right, we got Denny Hamlin calling in to the Dale Jr. Download, and a little celebration right now for the winner at Nashville Super Speedway. Denny got his guitar, and Denny is happy. Hell of a race, man. I was telling everybody, and I think I saw a lot of people say the same thing. I don't know if you've had a chance yet to really kind of look back at the night, but that was a fantastic race. Super entertaining. It had a lot of things going on. You had guys having some issues with their cars, which you love to see the machines sort of get tested. And some people guessed correctly on brakes, some didn't. Mm-hmm. And you had really good racing. I know we the next-gen car at a lot of different racetracks and for a lot of different reasons, valid at times, but it was a entertaining show. Yeah. Couldn't complain having the leaders 3 wide down into turn 1 last lap. That's all you can ask for. It was a classic, and y'all I know you are a big student of it, and you love being the guy that wins the big moments, and you won an instant classic. And I know you're probably not the first one you've won, but you got to feel good not only getting your guitar, but also just winning a race that had such a very popular finish.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, I talked about it earlier in the week during my presser that, like, there are some weeks that mean more personally for different reasons. One is, okay, this would be a new racetrack for me that I haven't won at. I've been dominant there before, haven't won it. I got the Denny Bros there for a guys' weekend. So you want to, you want to win because they're like, we're going to win, right? Like, how are we going to do? And, and so
pressure's on.
The pressure's on. And so I just, there's more motivation when you have all that stuff going on. And so I just kind of resigned to the fact with about, 30, 40 to go, I'm like, yeah, we're just going to be a little short here. We just don't have quite enough to race those guys. And then the final 10 minutes happens, and it changes everything. So, again, I thought that while Nashville is a very tough racetrack when it comes to dirty air and stuff like that, you still got some exciting restarts. You got a little taste of some long runs there in stage 3, and then you get a shootout with 4 laps to go, and like you said, 3 wide at the white. So not much more you could ask for.
That's right. I got to ask you, man, I was not great at going into these race weekends and getting out of the bus and enjoying, the areas that we would go visit across the country. You talk about having your friends there, and I know you got out a little bit with the guys. How do you manage that? Because they're going to go hard. It's Nashville. It's Broadway. There's a lot to do. You can't go downtown without ripping and tearing. So how do you manage that to be able to spend some time with your friends, but also, remain focused on what you got to do that weekend? You got to prioritize your job.
Well, you got to go earlier because I told those guys, I says, you got me on Thursday night. Thursday night, we'll go all night. And we went. Yep. When I say all night, I'm talking about Dale Jr. at the house all night.
See the sun come up.
That was Thursday. Friday, back at way down. Was it Friday, Trav, that me and you Irish goodbye the boys?
Yeah.
Travis!
Yeah. I was.
You had enough?
Travis, Travis actually was the one saying, then you got to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. So he was the one pushing me. He really wanted this win really badly. So
I saw his whoop score on Friday at lunch, and I was like, "Give me your margarita. You can't have that. We got to get you good."
But
you need a guy. You need a guy.
I had one, and so I just put self-imposed, bedtimes for myself at midnight from Friday on. So that was super helpful because, and again, the schedule was one where we didn't even hit the racetrack till late Saturday. We didn't.
It was weird.
It was a late Sunday start, so it actually. People were crapping on the night race, so I'm like, man, it was rather convenient for me in my going out schedule.
Yeah, for sure. So we talked about this during the Ask Junior segment on YouTube, but during you've been in the broadcast booth, you kind of know what the job is up there, and we're lucky to be able to talk to the drivers on pace laps before the race, and that's kind of the time where you're trying to buckle in and trying to do what you're trying to do. You're trying to think about all the things you got to get right in the car and talk to your crew chief, and there's a lot to do. And we're lucky to get a chance to ask a question or two. And I know you're a gambling guy, so I thought it'd be fun to ask you about what it might take for you to drop shotgun on the field. Do you feel like double the purse? I was surprised that you shot so low. I thought double the purse, man, that's not a lot. And I was thinking, not so much do you want to rethink your answer, but maybe that's how we get the money in the All-Star race up. What if?
Yeah.
What if you said, hey, instead of $1 million, you're $2 million to start last on the field?
I think it's an absolute fantastic idea, and I think that, I think personally you should ask the poll winner that every single week and say, you get 10 extra points, 15 extra points or something, just to because what a storyline, right? It's like, can that person come from the dead last? And I know it seemed like easy. Well, we did it, right? We came from last to come back, but we had to have work out just right. I mean,
that's right.
Cautions came at the right time. I got the restarts that I needed to at the right time. Our strategy flipped probably 5 to 7 cars that I never had to pass, never even saw them all day, just because I never, I never had to go through them. So things worked out, and so it's very, very against the odds for it to happen. So I think it would be a fantastic challenge every week to offer some sort of carrot for someone to go to the back and give up their number one starting position. And I bet you some people would not do it because they know that it's just, they're not going to be good enough in traffic or what have you. But
would you take points or money? What would be more incentive? Points, probably, for sure.
Points, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely points.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
going to Michigan, is that a track where you feel like y'all can continue the advantage that the Toyotas have? I'm starting to see, it's odd because we talked about how good the Toyotas looked at Charlotte. We go to Nashville, Toyotas look good again, but there was a moment where the 12 got the lead and drove away. The 5 got the lead, drove away. So there's some speed in those cars given the right opportunity. When you go to Michigan, is it a track that where I feel like you're not maybe going to agree with this, but I feel like y'all have a little bit more of a handle on the body of your car versus the other teams. I think the Fords are at max velocity. I don't know that they got much more, but the Chevrolets probably have a little bit to figure out on their balance, and once they hit that, it'll be good. But it looks like they're getting closer. What do you think?
I would agree with that. I mean, I think that, do I think our cars have more speed than the other manufacturers? I would tell you no doubt. I don't think there's any doubts in that. I think our box is a little bit bigger, and that, and we know that because it's not like me and Seabell and Briscoe and Ty Gibbs are running the same setups. We're all over the board, but if we're all running in the top 5, that tells you that our box is a little bit bigger that we're working in, right? So. I think that is the case. I mean, I think that it's always been a manufacturer. It's just been a little bit more. I think it's a little more prevalent right now than it has been in a while. But I also know that, the Chevrolet guys are getting there. It seems like Blaney, and then probably the RFK cars are like the next, the order, the pecking order of speed when it comes to the Fords. So it's I still think that teams are making gains. I really feel confident that and for us it was I don't know, I don't think anyone regressed this year. I think our jump in the offseason just was slightly more than the other manufacturers or the other teams. And so everyone's still making gains. We haven't reached terminal velocity like you talked about with the speed of our cars. We're always still getting a quarter more, a half more of downforce or whatever it might be. And so I agree with you that the other manufacturers still have more to gain. I know they do. They will gain. It's just, can we continue to hold our advantage by gaining at the rate that they are? The law of averages would say no. Like we're getting close to our peak, and you would think that they've got the room to go, but we just don't know how this is going to turn out until months from now.
Yep. Well, we're looking forward to the next one at Michigan, man.
I got a question for you real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
As a driver, your mindset down the front stretch, did your mindset change into turn one whenever you heard you were 3 wide? Because to me, that's a little bit more, doesn't that make it easier for you as a driver? Because you know the 20 has got to keep the 19 from getting on his outside. So that lets you kind of free roll the bottom.
So we had made contact twice. Once was off turn 2, where it was almost like our damn wheel wells got stuck together. Like it was, we weren't bouncing. It was just like we were glued together. And then we did it again off of turn 4, and a lot of that came from I was on the inside, and I'm thinking, all right, let me side draft, pull down, and clear them. Slide them. And I realized pretty quickly there ain't no way he's gonna let me clear him. Like
no, you were nose to nose with him.
He was driving in so deep to keep me from clearing him. I says, okay, we're not running optimum lap time at this time. So it's almost like match play in golf. If I shoot a 10 on the hole, it doesn't matter as long as my competition shoots an 11. Like it ain't about the lowest score. So on the last lap, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to be able to clear him. At best, what I can do is stay beside him. I'm going to run the fastest lap I can on the last lap. And the best way to do that is carve the bottom. And don't worry about where he's at. And I think if I run the optimum corner, the best of my ability, that will give me the best shot to win. And it just so happens 19 gets to the outside. Christopher drives in so deep to make sure he clears the 19.
Way deep.
I just run a good corner and I'm clear. So it was game over after that.
Yeah, he shifted his focus from you to the 19, and then that was it from there.
Yep. Fantastic stuff, man. Thanks for the insight. Look forward to this weekend in Michigan, and we'll see you out there.
All right, guys. See ya.
All right. Yep, see ya.
Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and for all the latest Dale Jr. download gear, including the "I'm'll Drink Some Beer" t-shirt that we've been talking about here around the office, head over to shop.dirtymomedia.com for all the latest merch. All right, it's time for Dirty Mo Dough, brought to you by FanDuel. And the big question, I suppose, is there any reason to bet on anybody but Denny Hamlin or any other Toyota that you like? Pick your flavor. We're going into Michigan, and let's see what the line is, what the odds are. For race winner, obviously, TJ, they have Denny at plus 400. Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Blaney, Briscoe, Byron, Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott, Shane Van Gisbergen.
Well, I think that's the book's freaking, like.
What in the world? Listen, I love Shane, but they got him at the same odds as Buescher and Hocevar. Oh, better odds than Hocevar.
I think that's the book saying he's going to win one soon, maybe, and they don't want to take a big hit.
Yeah. Well,
it's valid.
Yeah. In terms of top 5 finish, let's see if we can find some good ones here.
That's top 10, I think you're looking at.
You're right. Top 10 finish. So for top 10 finish, Denny's at minus 500. You don't want to do that. I don't know. You could probably do that. Denny Hamlin. Does Denny get a top 5 at Michigan? What do you think? Or a top 10?
If he gets a top 10, he gets a top 5.
I keep saying top 5.
I think he's going to be racing for the win.
Yeah.
I don't know how Denny could probably drive the race backwards and finish top 10 at Michigan.
Well, at minus 500, I might throw that in a
parlay.
Well, that's the only way you're going to do this.
If you did Bell, Hamlin, Reddick, you'd get plus money.
Yeah. I like it.
I
mean, those are the best 3. All right.
Who does this track fit other than Denny?
I'm here lately. Mine kind of being overshadowed by SVG. Eric Jones has been pretty good lately. I mean, he's been in the top. Was he in the top 10 there in Nashville for a while too?
Yeah.
I think he's found something here lately.
Eric Jones plus 300 for a top 10. I honestly, man, I feel like thinking about Michigan and how this track feels, how it drives. I like the Chevrolets.
Really?
I think we're going to keep seeing progress. Mark my words. I know y'all think I'm a Hendrick fanboy, and yes, I've drove Chevrolets my whole life, but Larson was looking better at Charlotte. I thought I saw even more improvement in that car's speed at Nashville. And
does William bounce back?
I don't know, man. They're struggling.
It is, yeah.
God, they're struggling.
He's the biggest surprise to me this year.
Man, I'm surprised it's not good.
I would have said he would be top 3 or 4 right now in points at the start of the season. If you ask me to start the season,
Mm-hmm.
I need the predictor, man. Does Bowman, for some reason, does Bowman run good at Michigan? I can't remember. For some reason, I'm wanting to say Alex I thought was good at Michigan.
I'll check on that.
I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
8th, 10th.
I think Blaney will be up there.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think, Denny's going to run good. Christopher Bell, this could be the weekend where he's the JGR driver that pops off the win.
I think it's got to hit for Bell soon.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's just kind of...
I feel the same way.
He's been right there.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
And he's got speed. He's passing race cars.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, man. I think Larson wins it. I'm going Larson. I mean, we could sit here and just tic-tac back and forth between Denny and Bell all day long, but somebody, we got to get off this island eventually.
And Larson's too good to go as long as he's gone without.
I got Larson to win. I like Larson for a top 5 at 275. Minus 275 for a top 10, sorry. I keep saying top 5s. I don't know why we're doing top 10 finishes.
Because we always talk top 10s.
I know. I'm missing that top 5 column, man. So I'm going to go Larson to win. I'm going to put a 3-driver top 10 parlay together with Larson, Christopher Bell, and how do you feel about Chris Buescher, TJ? How are you guys?
I feel like Chris puts a good race together there.
Yeah,
I feel like he does. I mean, if I were, to me, I would take maybe Buescher, Hocevar, Jones would be kind of like my
I can't put all 3 of them in the top 10. I'm just going to pick one of them.
Well, Hocevar, if you like Hocevar Jones, I would just bet them straight up top 10 because they're plus money.
Yeah, I know, but I want more. I'm greedy.
But if you wanted Hocevar, Buescher, and Jones,
I don't.
I'm just telling.
Yeah, you bet him straight up.
No, I'm telling it'd be plus 1,500. It'd be a good day if it hit.
Right.
Oh, wow, okay.
So when Denny went to the back, his odds were like plus 1,200. I know some people jumped on that.
I had a dream last night that I made a bet on an app and won several $100 million. Wasn't that crazy? I did. I literally had that dream last night.
Man, that'd be a hell of a...
Yeah. What'd you bet?
I don't remember.
That's good. Dang.
It's probably like a 50-leg parlay.
It was a weird dream.
Then it hit
weird
all
dream.
of them.
It was a very weird dream. It was a single obscure, like, wouldn't happen in a million years bet, and it actually hit.
Yeah, we can buy some golf clubs for the kids.
We're set. Yeah.
We need them, by the way.
Golf clubs. Yeah, our kids are in golf.
Yeah.
TJ and my kids are going to golf school this week.
Yeah, they're in golf camp.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stella comes back. She's like, yeah, the sticks. She calls them sticks.
Yeah.
Like, you mean the clubs? Yeah, I just call them sticks. I don't know.
You can
Some people call them sticks.
Yeah.
Get your sticks.
Amy's like, ours are the only kids that don't have their own clubs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well.
Well, yeah, because it's their first week. You're not buying clubs if you're
Yeah,
not sure you're
100%.
going to
That's right.
be into it.
Well,
You know what golf is.
Amy's sending me a picture, and it's like all these boys, and they're the only girls in the
Yeah,
class.
it was. Yeah, they were all lined up.
Yep. So it's all these little 7, 8-year-old boys where their dads are trying to make them the next Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And then we got our 3 little girls out there that never held a golf ball.
You just putters it.
They've never even
putt.
seen. Yeah, they don't even know what a golf ball looks like.
No. No, that's all right. They liked it though. I mean,
Yeah, they did. They had fun. They played tic-tac-toe, chipping toe.
oh yeah,
tic-tac-toe.
yeah. They were playing. Yeah, that's what Stella said.
That's fun. Mm-hmm. Anything else here?
Well, again, I'm going to do Buescher, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson for top 10 parlay. Kyle Larson to win. Thank you for tuning in to the Dirty Modo segment. It is brought to you by FanDuel, and they are the premier gaming destination in the entire United States of America. All right, thanks for joining us here in the Arby's studio. Don't forget about Arby's new Meat and 3 box. You get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats.